Alright, we're going to knit the collar for this toddler-sized yoke sweater. Okay, so now we're going to do the collar. The collar is 50 left and 50 right. I'm thinking we should do a 2x2 collar, and we should do it as a fold over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ribber back on this machine, and then we'll come back and make this work. I should put waste yarn on first and then E-wrap and transfer so that we don't have as much stress when it comes to how we are securing this, and then we also don't get that silly flare which drives me nuts. So we're making the collar first, and then we'll come back and we will put the yoke onto the collar and go from there. Okay, so we're going to put some of the waste yarn on here together. I currently have my carriage set at 6. Okay, I don't want to have too many stitches on here, so I am going to switch this stitch over one. Okay, I want to have a generous amount of waste yarn, so that's what I'm going to do now. I want to be able to cut this easily, so I put a yarn loop on purpose. Okay, I'm going to cut this now. Put the green to the side, or color 2. I'm bringing back my favorite shade of the day, which is white. I am knitting 1 row at my working tension of 7. Taking a deep breath, and I'm going to knit across 1 row. Deep breath, add another row. Okay, so now I'm going to put the ribber back on. We're going to do transfers for 2x2, and we'll bring in a ribber comb. Okay, so I have reset my carriage to tension 3. I have reset my ribber to tension 3. I am now going to do the laborious task of transferring every second stitch from the main bed to the ribber in a 2x2 pattern. So 2 up, 2 down. I'm going to utilize some other tools to make it go twice as fast. Okay, you get the idea. We'll be back. Okay, so now I need to figure out. Oh, there we go. So those are the ones that are not in play, so we move them out of work. I'm going to put my extra tool there. We are going to lower the ribber by 1 quick. And we're going to put in the rubber comb. Yeah, we're going to use this one. Definitely cutting it pretty close with this one, but we'll be just fine. Whew. Cutting her close. All right, now we need to weigh this thing down. We got more than 5 stitches here. Uh-oh. Okay, so my worst nightmare is come true. The cast on comb is interfering with the ripper comb. So we're going to take this back down. Take a good look at it. I'm going to remove the weights from the cast on comb. Okay. I have a little bit of yarn that's stuck on the cast on comb. Okay. I'm now going to very carefully try and remove the cast on comb. Without losing everything else. Doesn't look like it's going to work very well today. So we're just going to have to live with it now. Make sure we don't get our rubber comb caught on the needles. Push it up as far as you can. Maybe hold it up and try and get the barrel weight in between there and onto its little hole. Okay, I got one side. I'm going to try and get the other side here. Okay, I actually got it on there. Okay, trying again. This up. I'm going to leave the ribber in setting 2. We're not playing with any lily buttons. We're in 3. We're setting our row counter to 2 because we already have the 2 rows. We will now knit I want this to be fairly robust. So we're going to start with 10 and we might raise it to 15. So we'll see how we feel about it. Okay. Everything looks okay. Eight, 9, 10. Stuck everywhere. I can't get in there yet because of the river connection bracket thingies. So we're going to give it another 5 rows. Okay, we're going to write down the number 15. Now we're going to transfer all of the stitches onto the ribber from the main bed, and we will knit 1 row, and then we will transfer the stitches opposite to how they were before. This is our turnaround row. If you find that tension 3 is too tight for your yarn, then use tension 4 or tension 5. But try not to use the same tension as we used for the main bed of the main part of the project. This is a long and boring part, so I'm going to pause and then we'll come back. Okay, so now we are holding this down and we're moving all the stitches from the ribber up, because we want them all to knit off without any issues. Okay, kind of stressful, but this will work. Going up to tension 7. There are no stitches on the main bed that are in working position. They're all in A, and the ribber is in E. So let's knit across 1 row. Scary as can be. Reset your row counter to all zeros. You will now put your ribber back into tension 3. And now you get to figure out the opposite of what you had before. So I had these ones down before. They will now be knits, not purls. I know you get the idea already, so we're going to come back when I have them all transferred yet again in the opposite order. Okay, I'm all transferred back. Well, transferred opposite. Deep breath. Move this one up. We're going to knit 15 rows again. Okay, I have a little bit of a catch up here. I'm not sure why. I'm quite sure that the cast on comb is interfering. So I have to be very careful. I'm going to put on the 7 weight because I don't trust this. I know that there's something going on here. Okay, Okay, that's 15. We are now going to transfer them all back onto the main bed. And then we'll see what's going on. Not sure why that's not transferring. Get back on its needles. Alright, well, I'm going to use my single prong or double eye needle. Figure out what's going on here. It's probably just safer. And we'll come back when all of these are transferred and I take the ribber off. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a fold over on this collar. Before I remove that cast on comb that was causing all the issues, we are going to put claw weight at the top of each corner. Now we can remove that cast on comb. Okay, as you can see, it automatically pops itself up. And now we get the wonderful task of finding the stitches and moving them up. You don't want to lose any, so just make sure that you get them in the right order. Once you have them all on the main bed, we will be knitting across and then that will lock them in, and we'll knit across at tension 7. And then we will hang the yoke onto the collar and seam it off. Now, if you don't want this little fancy transition to be at the front of your sweater, you can remove the collar on waste yarn and then hang it on top of the yoke to seam it off. I'm going to do this the faster way because I don't mind this little transition to be showing. I just find this a little bit faster for me. So I'm going to do it my way. You can do it your way. Alright, so we're all on here. I'm going to move the camera and then we will knit the 2 rows that lock in this collar. So here we go. Coming back towards the work. Going from tension 3 back up to tension 7. Making sure I'm not locked into any of the wheels. 1, 2. Now we get to figure out the last yoke. Now we get to attach the yoke.